Well, hello, guys. I am gonna do the book review. Actually, I enjoyed doing the last one, so I'm gonna do another one. This is gonna be about my first wargaming. You guys, notice my corncob pipe. These are great for testing out new things, but I'm not testing out a new one. It's just for a short smoke. Guys interested in smoking or trying, these are like $7, $8, less than $10 to buy. Go to like pipesandscigars.com or whatever. I guess they're also good testing out new tobacco but I enjoy it every once in a while. But anyway, so the book we're going to do today is called Tank Charts. And it's by, what is it? His name is Brian F. Stokes. And it was, we'll get to looking at it in a minute. It is very plain. There's not any pictures. But it's a book about accuracy in World War II tank fighting and tank battles, or just World War II battles, in a 1-for-1 scale. The original copy that I have was tore up. Me and my dad played it to death, and it's in pieces. But I found a new one about 10 years ago. Or new one, one that was not tore up at all, and you'll see in a second. So let's get this party started, shall we? So, all right, here we go, guys. Here's my unprofessionalism kicking in again. So this is Tank Charts, and if you notice, the scale for it is 1/285, which is equivalent now to 6mm scale. So that's your Epic 40K scale, your Imperialis scale. I think Imperialis scale is a little bigger. I think it's 10 mil. You have to forgive me too, guys. I'm still kind of working off a cough. Anyway, so what's so cool about this book? Well, from the story that I understand of it, the guy took 3 years without internet, because this is in the early 80s, to compile all the information of each common tank in World War II and their penetration factors. And I think he grabbed a lot of them from Aberdeen, Maryland, which is our in the United States, that's one of our proving grounds. And since they're all weren't secret or anything like that, he could easily grab. Well, easily, he had to go to the library and grab them, and probably have some other things. But anyway, let's go through it just real quick. So, yep, there it is. There's nothing special about this rule set. It is very very plain. Oh, and it's published by GHQ. GHQ makes little tanks, and this works great for for the micro armor selection he has. That's what we use. I still have my dad's micro armor. Maybe I'll show those one day too, with the small tanks and everything. You know, we can do a review of GHQ's some of their models that I have. I have some of their newer models, and I have some of their older models, which are cool. So this is done in a very Wargame esque rule set. It's no pictures, like I said. Now here's what's really cool. Let's see if I can actually manually zoom in. Whoops. See if I can zoom in a little better. Okay. It's not focusing. It's not focusing. Why is it not focusing? Anyway, you can see that this is a Panther, and you can see each section there, like the armor. You can see turret, upper hull, lower hull. You can see those are the millimeters of armor on a front end hit. It's including the armor thickness plus its angle. that you would have to hit. And then on the bottom here, it's how much it would punch for like at 25 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters. So, and then even if you notice, the road speeds and cross-country speeds are in miles an hour. That means you could take any scale that you would want, and you can convert it. He has a conversion table right here for any scale that you would want. Right, so like 1 inch would be, or 25 millimeters would be 100 meters, and then each eighth of an inch or 3 millimeters would be 1 mile an hour. So you can just easily convert that to how far the tank would move or the vehicle would move in inches on the table, depending on what scale you would want to use. The game is actually quite complicated. I would not suggest. Me and my dad have tried these several times to have big battles with this game. It does not work. You never get finished. You'll never have it finished. This is made for maybe company scale with some infantry, and it works out very well with that. I've played a few games with this with company scale. Some of the rules are very. Some of the rules sometimes are non-intuitive, and it's okay. I mean, what game doesn't have non-intuitive rules? But these are the games that we had to deal with. I mean, they would have artillery. Artillery is a real pain to use because each turn in this is 15 seconds. That's the equivalent. 15-second turns. So whatever can happen in 15 seconds is what happens. So artillery doesn't come in until sometimes turn 6 or 7 after you especially if you're Russian. If you're United States, you get it pretty quick because time on target. But yeah, artillery is really kind of outside the scope of this game. We've modified the rules sometimes to make it for our own fun, to have artillery come on next turn no matter what it is. But yeah, it can be brutal. Searching. So just because you can see the model doesn't mean your model can see the model, if you understand what I mean, right? The units, it all depends if the units can actually see each other. And there's an observation table. This one has tables on tables on tables. It's an older game. What year did it come out? The first printing, 1984 was the first printing. So, I believe this is the third printing book I have. Which came out in 87. I believe he's actually still around. I still believe Brian Stokes is still around. I think he's doing another game too, which I'd be interested in seeing. I would have to check. Maybe he's on Facebook, but so you'd have to first see the vehicle first, or see the unit first before you can even shoot at it. And there's a chart you have to go through, and you have to get a certain score through these charts. So, and this is designed for 2 players, right? World War II, and it's basically Allies versus, or the Axis versus the Allies. That's the only way it's really designed. Now we've done it to where we modified it because movement determination table is who gets to move first, and if you move first, you lost initiative because you get to see where everybody goes, and then you can counteract it, and it's done every turn. Then you have basic vehicles like trucks and half tracks and jeeps and stuff like that from most nations at this time, from 39 to 45. And then you actually have terrain modification. So depending on your performance factors on your vehicle, depends how the percentage of speed that you lose on with certain vehicles. You have mines, fog and smoke effects, infantry fire phase, where infantry fires. Infantry is done a little simpler than tanks because it's actually hard to do the human element, right? It's easy to do the mechanical version, but the human element is always the harder one. I think he does a good job with basically a chart. Heavy machine guns are nasty in this game, so. If you're looking at this right here, here's T, the target. So Z is the is the shooter. Everybody in this gets affected from the target, and then anything behind it also gets affected up to a certain amount. The damage zone. Infantry up close, you're gonna get tore up with heavy machine guns. It's nasty. It kind of represents just going at it. Which I kind of like. I mean, infantry fights are infantry dies quick in this game, which is appropriate. We call them crunchies for a reason. You have your anti-tank for infantry. Now you have this tool right here. This tool is kind of cool because it tells you if it hits your what angle your model is being hit at, right? And then you have a hit location table where your turret, upper hull, lower hull, suspension. Any of you guys that played World of Tanks, you kind of know what I'm saying. The upper glacis, the lower glacis, and the turret. It's the same kind of thing. This thing is like a World of Tanks on tabletop. And really, if you play with basically 15 units aside, you're probably gonna the game system's gonna work pretty dang well. Any more than that, it gets kind of hard. But yeah, you have different types of variable penetration. If it gets really close, like you're to the millimeter, well, then it's like, well, now do we go to the variable penetration hit, right? Say like you punch 101 millimeters, but you're hitting 102 millimeter armor placing, right? Well, now you get to roll in the variable penetration table because you're within the 10%. And it may jump up 10% and you still punch the tank and kill it. All right. They had some experimental high velocity penetration, or the APCR type stuff that was out. Yeah, the game, like I said, the rules are pretty intensive. No pictures because I don't think he could at the time. It was just a cheap game. It was like $10. Air power, I think it's hilarious in this style of game because it just nukes things. Especially if a B-17, you're just gonna blow things up completely. Which is, we got a little quick reference tables here, right? Now we come kind of the meat of the game, right? The charts, tank charts themselves, right? And this is the fun thing. I mean, if you want to this game is actually kind of cool for research because he did the research for you. If you kind of want to know what tanks would do with each other against each other, this is a good way of even just researching some of it. Sometimes I just reference, like when I go World of Tanks, when I play sometimes World of Tanks. I haven't played in a long time, but I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. And of course, most World of Tanks now are just made up tanks or some fantasy dream of some person. Anyway, but if someone says, well, the Sherman was a horrible tank, and you're like, wait a minute, I mean, just maybe on paper, but then you look at even on paper, you can see the Sherman. Let me see. My camera's having trouble today. You know what? I bet you I know why. I just realized. Oh, there we go. I forgot to put on the lower light. Now I have something. Professionalism, guys. Professionalism. It's still not focusing. I don't know what I'm doing. But on the upper hull, there's a good chance of hitting that 117 millimeter, worth of armor. And then you go over to the Germans. Here. Go to an earlier year. You look at the PZ2s. You're only punching at 45 millimeters. You're not even going to punch that Sherman. Or how about a PZ3G? You're only punching 63 millimeters at point blank range. That Sherman was actually really, really good for the longest time. It's not until the Germans got their 75s up Or what was it? Not their 75s. Their 50s? No. Yeah, they're 75s. Because German made really good 75s. You know? But PZ3s until... yeah, even their 75s, they're short barrel 75s. Until the PZ4s with the longer barrel 75s. Yeah, the L43s. You know, then they're punching Shermans all day long. You know, PZ4Hs are Sherman punchers. But they couldn't take a punch either from the Americans. You know, it's just interesting stuff like that. So this has the Americans, the Germans, the Russians, the Italians, the Japanese. I forget what else they have on here. Hungary. Yeah, I think. Oh, the Polish. They had the Polish. You know. And I mean that's about it for the game. I mean it's a real cool book if you could find it. Just referencing just historical, and then you get some tanks and just go play. You know, get some tanks, some infantry. It doesn't take much money. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I mean, this like my Rogue Trader book. I think even more than my Rogue Trader book, this is the game that got me into wargaming. Rogue Trader, it kind of helped my imagination, but this was, wow, I like tanks. I've always loved tanks. You know, in the Army, I wasn't able to even work on tanks because they were closed. But when I served, I was able to work on paladins, which look like tanks, but not tanks. You know, this game really expanded my knowledge of World War II, and it gave me a kind of a cool memories with my dad, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So anyway, guys, hope you guys have a great day. Let me switch back here. Hope you guys have a great day, and I pray that you would be blessed, and that you enjoyed my video, and I'll be praying for you. Thank you. And if you like it, I'm not gonna say it. You guys know what to do. Take care, guys. Bye.